No.
Only Nedra's not here because
And because she's doing a
Yeah.
test run for the
Yeah,
ride
I
for
know.
missing children, and what a gorgeous day for her.
I hope they have that good weather for the ride.
You know,
My next door neighbor did. I don't know if he's doing it this year.
Okay, we have no public here. The minutes from last month's meeting. Does anyone have additions, corrections? Subtractions? Anything? I read it online, but it was not, it was a few days ago, so I didn't see anything that needed to change.
I moved to accept. Okay.
All right, I'll second.
I like that you went up the CD.
Okay. President's report. I have only one thing, which I thought was worth talking about. Did anybody read the thing online about sustainability? And where, I don't know
Which
where
one?
did
Did it
that
come from
from?
Nyla?
It maybe, it was like
Nyla,
6 or 7 pages.
Yeah, it did come from them, but I didn't read it.
It's very repetitious with, you know, example, you know, blah, 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 blah. And but at the end, there's a group of 2 pages that said friendly ways to be sustainable. Friends of the library and library trustees can help make it happen. And this was sensible. There's some things you can do. And I thought that was worth having. So I did make a copy. And I checked off the things we already do and put question marks next to the ones that I didn't know. Because we probably do, but I didn't know the answer to.
Okay,
So certainly we do work on funding improvements to enhance accessibility, et cetera, not a problem. Honoring the culture and true history of indigenous people by Indigenous People Day rather than Columbus Day. I don't know.
How
'cause
does
I-
that
We-
have to do with sustainability?
it's
No,
being
there's part
respectful of
it.
your
It's
environment.
Sustainability is part of socially equitable, environmentally sound and economically. feasible.
Okay, I do want you to know that we do that because, well, anyway, we, during displays, we do make a serious effort. And even when we do have some and not all, we acknowledge the area that we're in. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Indians, you know, most likely were sitting here on the land that we're sitting on tonight.
Right.
So it
My
probably,
brother tells me that all the time, that they're coming to get the house.
Yeah.
He thinks we-
but nevertheless, you know, Columbus Day is kind of passé and probably they're doing in school something.
Yeah, indigenous people.
We could change it.
Even if we
In
did
our
something
paperwork
about,
even.
something about the book display of, you know, the kids' book display about thing. I mean, I found a couple books here last fall that I wanted to look at in order to buy for my great grandchildren. Both wonderful, my new books that were here about indigenous people. They
Okay.
weren't about central New York, but that doesn't really
Oh,
matter.
so you're not telling me they were out of date?
Oh, no, they were brand new. They were brand new this year. And so I looked them over and then I bought copies for my great grandchildren.
I had mixed up.
It's older. So I think that that's worth thinking about in some not very elaborate way, you know, maybe a list of books or a display of books or that kind of thing.
Yes, we have done.
Who would be indigenous people?
The people that lived here before, say, the
Whole
European,
Iroquois, you know.
that, right. Some
People that were
came a
native
long,
to
long time ago.
the-
Not like 1600s.
Yeah,
People that
people
would have
who were
been.
native to the region.
The original-
indigenous.
I mean, some
The
could argue
original
that
people
all
that
of
lived
us
here.
came from, you know,
Well, they were the
Israeli
first,
area.
probably the first.
Yeah.
The first people
they found.
The next one is financially supporting and sponsoring programs for Earth Day, and you may very well do that as well. I wasn't paying attention, I was doing Earth Day at home.
We do a bit, I know, right? Do more.
And I know lots of people do,
Yeah.
you know, picking up the trash and all
I used
that.
to do a lot in school.
Yeah,
We are acknowledging the fact that there's dandelions out front, and I said, you know, we really do need to leave them there, because the bees need to eat. People might go, I think we should put Roundup on those.
no,
And I don't have to heard do anything like that,
No.
stress it,
good for you.
come there.
They're
No,
just
it's
fun.
You know, let 'em think.
In England, people plant them in their garden.
They're beautiful, and you make wine out of them.
Yep. And
They're really good deep fried. Too.
I've not done, but.
So, yeah.
All everything's good.
And then we're working with Better books, which we do, and we're helping.
Yeah.
Recycling books that we don't use and all that kind of thing. Sponsoring a challenge in our local community, and I don't really know what that would be about, but it says the Kingston Library offers a monthly sustainability challenge for patrons. And then they give a website. Even if they're-
Well, it could be something like, no waste lunch period.
Yeah,
or something
you know,
like that,
certainly could look it up, it's Kingston Library.
I mean, we did put in the hand dryers in the bathroom. I mean, everybody's still uses paper towels.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I know, some things, all over the room.
Yep.
In the bathroom, you can't fit, whatever you do in there, it's gonna be.
Washed your hands already, the germs are down. the
Partnering
sink.
with organizations, or
Germs on the
coordinating
floor.
events like, food, doing competitions about.
We breathe.
Donating to
germs.
local food pantries. The problem with that is what the food pantry really wants is money.
You
They
know,
don't really want canned soup.
I mean, it's not that they don't, it's just they can get grants for them.
Yeah.
What
They
they want
much
is the
rather
paper
have, like-
products that they can, and they can buy things so much
Right.
more
If we-
economically
If
than
we
we do.
decided to do that, then we would have to make a big sign that
Mhm.
says, this is what they need.
Yeah.
If you have any, if you're able to help, please do.
Here's the thing, we went to.
We have done food drives and we have done
Yeah.
clothing drives and sneaker things and we're going to actually work with the Lions, I think, once we decide once the carpets were in, then we'll take the glasses.
Oh, right,
So
yeah.
we're just all over that.
We did, Christmas gifts too, which are
Oh,
also
that was nice, yeah.
helping people.
Alan and I went to the making cake at Munson Williams. It was like sort of an artistic presentation of making it, whatever, and that was fun, making cake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did?
No, I didn't go there.
Oh.
Anyway, you
Anyway,
might have seen it.
that was fine, but I got the most out of people in the audience making comments. And somebody there said, we all know, did the audience know that when you're on food stamps, you can't use them to buy cake mix.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
That's
You
terrible.
You could,
No,
you
you
could buy
can't use
flour.
anything
sugar.
with, yeah, you
Buy
can't,
the ingredients.
yeah, you can't buy processed food, basically.
Yeah.
It's actual food.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but here you go, but I can tell you, even a little toaster oven, you could make some, I mean, we have to make an easy bake ovens.
Yeah.
So that would be noted. It would be interesting for people who might want to donate to the food bank. So you could do cake. Any paper product.
But what is our here that you have nothing to celebrate?
Paper products.
Like, you're not a birthday, not a.
The issue is also, do they have eggs and oil and all the stuff you put in the cake mix? Maybe they do, maybe they
Well,
don't.
they could get that with food stamps.
Sure.
There you go.
I guess the idea is that you can't go
Because
out.
I know people get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They find their ways away from one of those things anyway.
Well, in any case.
But
if you
anyway,
chose to
you can't
do that, I think it would be important to say here's what the
Why
food
can't you-
pantry needs,
Okay,
not your luck.
we gotta stay focused.
So, I think it was worthwhile to look at this, and it's at the end of, well, you know what, there was like a million pages.
Right,
And it was page 13 and 14.
okay.
Is that you can use? Or what was that?
It was
I don't know.
from something from the
Like really long,
Library
it's like-
Association.
30
I
pages.
called them
I did. see.
and I told them to change, so that newsletter, you might get it the next time you send it out. They think they send something once a month.
I don't know, there was a lot of stuff, because I.
But
had
when
made
did you get it? Do you remember?
I'm looking, there's-
So I probably called after. When did I see you last? I think I saw you at the building committee meeting.
Yeah.
I saw you here, and I think I forgot to call Nyla after that, and so it might not have been since.
Okay.
So keep track though, because I did say. They said, oh, she can go on to whatever and change it. I said, can I go on and change it? And I think she was in a bit of a hurry. So we'll double check to make sure you don't get faltered.
Okay,
The correct.
if anybody wants to look it up, they do it. Do you think we should do something with one of those?
We do. I'm pretty comfortable. with
Yeah.
almost all of that.
Yeah, and that's what I thought we did, and I thought it was a
Yeah.
good idea to.
We do. Because there's
say that. And
a give back, I think it's in October. It's a give back something and we chose one time. We chose, the Evelyn House, and
Yeah,
the Evelyn House is,
Right,
young
right.
young moms and babies, and so we collected diapers and wipes and those
Right,
kinds of
yeah.
things that would be helpful for that.
Mhm.
And then Christina organized something with a food pantry. We've done things with Rotary, with collecting old sneakers that, I don't know if they get recycled, I don't know what happens, but we do a lot of
and that's
that.
all this was reminders about those things, and some places, you know, they said. Something about combining with Giving Tuesday. I
Oh,
can't remember
okay.
it, but,
Yeah,
you know,
Giving
they do that,
Tuesday
Giving
is-
Tuesday, yeah,
That's the after Cyber Monday,
yeah, yeah,
which is after.
yeah.
Excuse me.
I know.
And
Is that what it is? Okay, it's rather than Black Friday, right? It goes
Right,
Black
there's
Friday.
Black Friday, then cyber or
Cyber Monday.
local Saturday.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Actually,
business,
there's Brown
maybe?
Thursday too. That's
Oh.
what Thanksgiving is called.
Gonna be all months now.
What?
Brown Thursday.
Oh.
Every day.
Thanksgiving, you go out for, they're
Go to the bed.
push the shopping back, so yeah, they open shopping now, instead of Black Friday now, they do Thursday.
Oh, right.
Because it's not quite black.
Not quite
Okay.
black, brown.
Not quite
Yeah.
like it's brown.
Whatever.
Okay, thank you all for listening to that. I thought it was worth talking about. Financial report, we have the expenditure and revenue reports.
Do you have the one I need to
Yeah,
sign?
sure. Have it right here.
And the abstract of claims, April 12th to May 9th.
You do, 50% through the fiscal year, and we're at 47.93. Do we know our budget needs?
Oh, because something came out, it's gonna be-
I don't share it online. I just, what happened to miscellaneous?
Miscellaneous?
That made me laugh.
Every budget is miscellaneous.
Oh,
It doesn't.
Every company
It's
is
there.
miscellaneous.
No, I know it is.
I've seen it. What is miscellaneous?
is it right?
And it makes me laugh because everybody.
That
the
is-
schools.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yes, that is a correction that will go, that'll fix itself next.
Oh, I was funny. I couldn't, I knew, yeah, I knew there was something.
But
Whatever.
what does miscellaneous, for? Even the school budget is miscellaneous.
No,
I think it's got something, not everything fits,
Yeah,
right?
very limited, you know, like I've put late fees in there if you get a finance charge on a credit card because we missed one day of paying or something like that.
With the miscellaneous.
It's a very small amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's only $300, it really probably shouldn't even be there.
I think the school is like 17,000.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, wow.
Well, they have a lot. of-
Okay, if you look at our budget compared to theirs, it's probably
Right.
pretty comparable.
Yeah. Okay, so. Do we have a motion to accept the,
I'll make a motion to accept the
Expenditures.
financial reports.
and the abstract?
Yeah, both
Right?
of them.
And I'll second.
Yeah, we don't have anything else we have to go on.
No, I don't think so. And we have the director.
Okay, that's me. All right, so Rotary meetings, we're getting to the point where, I think I said it last time, the outstanding educator, I'm working on that for Rotary, so, oh. Lisa. She teaches math.
Zot?
No,
No.
no, that's right here, Alexander, right? Lisa
Oh, yeah,
Alexander.
Lisa Alexander.
So she was the one that our students nominated. She is going to be the outstanding educator of the
Oh,
year
good.
from Whitesboro, and I believe she's retired this year.
Oh. My kids.
So-
love
Oh,
her.
and our Brewers for Books, we did a fundraiser, and we eventually, I should know how much we raised. $228 in the two different ones, so it was kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm loving it, but I don't know. So what it is we started to do a fundraiser we did one for Rotary, we did Suds for Scholars. I thought, well, gosh, we should do this for the library. So what could we do? And I didn't want to just do it for Dunham because it was, for one thing, it was 16 stones easy for me because that's my son-in-law. So we did it with Mid-York. And so Katie came from Mid-York and we handed out library swag and we taught people how to use Libby and they bought food and drink and 15% of it came to Mid-York Library System. We didn't do it.
It was up at the pub.
It was at 16 Stone Utica. And then we did it 2 weeks later at 16 Stone Hill and Patton. And then I met people that were, the trustee from Remsen, the building that we can't get into. It has accessibility issues, right? And I'm talking to her and I'm telling her about construction grants and accessibility and that whole bit. So that was fun. And she actually came to the construction grant meeting.
That was good.
It was good. There was a lot of,
Well, it is a
I
great-
do outreach I do with Rotary, but there's one person in Rotary who can vote for the budget. Everybody else is somebody else,
Yeah.
North Utica.
Yeah.
So North Utica White Stone budget. So the woman, she works at First Source, but she lives in Oneida. Okay, and then Steve, actually Steve could vote for the budget. I need to reach out to him. Steve Karbowski, who doesn't come to our meetings very much anymore. But then Steve Long is M&T Bank. So again, we do Rotary functions, but he lives in Mohawk or wherever, so he can't vote for the budget. Kurt can. And then Barb, she lives in the city of Utica. Joe lives in the city of Utica. And you know, whatever, I'm like, wow. It's not working. So anyway, I was able to network with some people and we raised some money. And so $228 went to Libby. So we all can have it. And so we might do something at Copper City in Rome. So then Rome people would come in and do some stuff. And we might do bruises and coffee brews. So we might do a fundraiser with or the Utica coffee, things like that. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it. I thought we did like a couple of years, that would be enough for me. All right, so digital equity roundtable webinar. So that again, it was just I don't know, can't remember what it was about. I think it was about just making sure people can
Access
get
to people.
digital, right, that sort of thing. And and Cheryl, so Cheryl's our main contact. Julia is too. We work with her definitely, but Cheryl's our project manager on she's from the architecture firm. That's what HKKAA, I suppose I should write that out. So just checking progress. And then accessibility committee. So I'm on the accessibility committee with Chris August. Diana is from Mid-York. And one of us from Mid-York, and we're trying to discuss, so what should we do? We don't have as much of a problem here, we really don't. We have bathrooms that people can access, we have buildings that you can access. There are some interesting things, and I think I've discussed this with you because I've been working on this a while, just thinking about fonts and memes and things that aren't, you have to be careful with certain things that you think, oh, that's cute and artsy, and then it's just not accessible to very many, so.
Oh, right, because people can't see
And
it.
if it's a meme, it also can't be, closed caption, like
Right.
it turns out to be just an image sometimes, or it's, if you're colorblind, you can't tell
Right.
you can't see those colors on the backgrounds, and
Right.
so I did tell Christina things to think about. She's like, oh, no, yeah. And then we did have a trustee handbook book club. So that was, now, Pat, if I sent you that link to the trustee handbook class, can you access the recording? Or you didn't get your email?
Probably.
Okay, so it might be, I was just thinking it might be easier because really attending it live is not that
Well,
important.
now, you mean I did attend the.
There was one in April.
The
I
last one.
signed up for it
Uh-huh,
and put a big sticky note on my cabinet door that I would attend it at 5 o'clock that night, but I did not. I was outdoors and forgot about it.
okay,
But I did get
You got the email.
Yeah, so I'll just do that way.
you get it totally fine, because it's the same thing.
But I don't know if they know that I did that. I did get an email saying, I think I did attend the first one.
Okay,
But I'm not, I don't know, where's the record of it? Did you get a record?
Well, they
There
send
isn't-
you an email certificate.
Well, they
Yeah, I didn't-
They send it to you if you sign up and do it directly, but
Right.
you can. They take your, they will. I mean, this is not, there's nobody's gonna take you to court for this.
Yeah.
If you say, I attended this and I have difficulty accessing it live and I used April's link. I mean, really, who's gonna go through the effort to
Yeah.
write that down? So maybe you could send me an email or just, we'll
Well,
write it down.
I
that you
would have to
attended.
do another one.
You would have to do
Yeah.
2 hours total.
Or I did one.
Okay, so that's an hour, and if it was 2 hours, then we're great.
I mean, I did the first one.
Okay.
And I did the whole thing.
But they're just.
So usually an hour and a half, or an hour.
So now
You probably need to do another one before
So, you know,
September, so there'll be another one.
Yeah, well, they let us know, I know they let us know, but it was too late when I got there. and I was
Okay.
up to
But I'll let you know, yes,
When
I let
another
you,
one comes up, let me know.
I will. So if you, I'll send you all
Okay.
And
They
you'll-
did send
well,
out
I'm
in the
sure
very
we'll-
beginning, but that was it.
of them, okay.
They didn't take.
As soon as as soon as I see one, or I'll look at them, because I think I have them in my calendar.
Okay.
We'll make sure you get to
I'll do
another
one.
Okay, perfect. And even if you do it live or you do a recording, it's all good. Okay, so Kim Rudwell, which you all know, I went to school and she graduated and whatnot, so we sent her paperwork in to civil service. And that was accepted and appointed, so I suppose, see, I need to get better at this. I suppose you should vote to approve the fact that I did that. Is that true?
Well, I thought that was on.
Or is that, because I get confused, because I think that you hire me to do that,
Yeah.
Yes.
I would.
right?
Yeah, but the
I'm letting you
handbook
know.
says I think the handbook says we approve it, but we take your lead on that.
So the
But
fact that
basically,
you-
it's like a rubber stamp.
If
thing.
you approve my director's report or approve the minutes or part of the director's report, it's all in there. So I'm letting you know.
Yeah,
That
I don't know if it should
we
be
held it
under
open,
new,
we Sharon
I
that.
don't know if it should
We
be
held it
under new business, just that we
Did I put it down?
accept,
I
it's
did.
not, I thought it was, I thought.
This is new.
Just got her master's degree.
Yeah,
Well, then
Right
let
here.
her sign it.
thank you. It's on the agenda.
But it's not, why is
I
it
wrote it.
this agenda?
So you're.
I put it on, did I give you an old agenda?
It says May 9th, but it doesn't have that, but I.
Because I gave you an old one.
Oh, I have it.
That's okay. That's because, yeah, because I think it's basically,
Did I have
what it
all-
says in the handbook is,
Is that old?
we don't micromanage, but we approve.
Yeah,
things.
no, because
I sent the wrong one.
did online at home.
Yeah, because I don't, and I was like,
Well, now, that's what vacation does.
yeah, that's okay.
I said, oh, well, they should have it as
Well,
well.
if it's online, everybody.
Okay, that's fair. I did send the right one out.
Mhm.
I just copied the wrong one for today.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
So
So,
now what's up with her? She had.
so what's up with her is that she's back, she was hired like a few months before me and she's done every job I have, right? She was a page, then she was an account clerk.
She got her degree, right?
And she was a library assistant, and then she got her master of library science. So we didn't hire a librarian when Sharon left, because we really didn't have to hire one, right? We were, you know, she was kind of
But now
doing
we're
that.
getting down.
And now she has,
So what happens with her salary?
it didn't. But it could next year.
No, I'm just wondering, now she's got a man.
Well,
You can't change it because not in the budget.
and we didn't change Rosemary's right away either. We did a title change mid-year and it stayed the same, but we did the title change right away. I said, well, yeah, I can't really I can do a title change now.
What was her title change? What was her title before she?
Library assistant
Now
if
her
you-
title is what?
is librarian one.
All right, so that doesn't that require more money?
It doesn't, well, it could, but we really put our,
I don't think it.
well, okay, we could have left her salary lower as a library assistant, but because she was doing.
So you already raised her salary.
Really put her, we kind of put her. Right, we acknowledge the fact that she was really acting very close to a librarian because she was so close to graduating.
Yeah.
That we've raised her kind of in line with a librarian.
Four-year degree or a master's?
It's a master's.
Like,
But we can't, be careful, because her salary is in line with our other librarians. Okay, so don't,
Yeah, we,
Yeah.
yeah,
right, if you look at people, if you look at Dennis and you look at Christina and you look at him, they're,
yeah, she
They're
should be
appropriate.
making more money than the librarians who have been here longer. than
and
our-
she would.
And our librarian
Who's
too,
the
or-
other librarian?
Dennis.
Yeah, no,
and Christina.
no, Christina's not.
Christine is the
Librarian.
librarian.
She's the library media specialist, which is the thing, or the librarian one. I mean, that's, she has the school media certification, which is still the same. It's more actually
Yeah.
than a public library. You have to have a concentration. So Kim did a concentration in YSS, which is youth services. And
So
Christina,
Christina and Kim are not making the same amount.
very similar. So,
And Kim's been, or Christina's been a librarian for a couple of years already.
right, but not, she hasn't been here as
Hasn't been
long.
here, though.
So we have like the longevity
I know.
consideration
Yeah,
with, and then we have, so
Right.
they're about very close.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's good, we're good. So
Yeah.
don't feel like we're not doing, and it's so cute, because she went looking for comparisons, you know, we've done that along the way. It's difficult because you take about poverty, really.
well, and it.
Compare public libraries,
are a lot
and
of
we compare
factors.
everybody, but that's the problem, we compare to inappropriate salaries, but
Yeah,
it's what
but-
we have.
But years as a library assistant is not the same as years as a librarian, so it's not the same kind of thing as saying, I'm a librarian one. And I've been here for whatever, 14, 20 years or whatever,
Mhm.
compared to somebody who's been a librarian one for that many years.
Right,
Yeah.
It wouldn't be
and like
comparable necessarily.
Rosemary is a library assistant, she's a certified teacher, but
Right,
because she doesn't have a master of library science, the highest she can go in civil service and public libraries here
Right.
is a library assistant,
Right,
so.
and there's
she-
probably a range of
Right.
salaries for.
She
each.
was-
Rosemary could be a teacher.
Correct,
Mhm.
so that's where we are. I had a guy call me, he's a lawyer. And he was retiring and he wanted to work here, and I said, well, the highest you can be here is a
It's a
library assistant. And he's a law degree, but that's the highest you can be.
If he wants to do it.
Right,
Right,
If he
but,
retired.
Maybe he's a really bad lawyer.
okay,
I don't know,
No,
anyway,
retired, maybe
no,
do
we're-
something.
but I just wanted you to know the
Yeah.
salary line is okay.
mhm.
Because we
Okay.
kind of took that into consideration.
What else did you have in the director's report, or are we on?
Okay, see, now look at these environmental things we have. Okay, so Kim and the Big Utica, and I just acknowledge that because it's in something else.
Yeah,
Then we had a mead and architect meeting, and see Rotary, I did the clean sweep of the canal, the very environmental stuff.
mhm.
National Library Week celebrations, thank you all, it was really nice, because we have had things, but it was kind of, we were in a diabetic coma with our sugar, it was great. And then we had our building committee meeting. Program committee.
Thanks to Pam.
And thanks to Pam, I know, good job.
Yes.
We had bagels and we had like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what they were. It was like a combination of a cookie brownie thing.
Oatmeal butterscotch cookie brown.
Wow.
Did you make them?
Oh, we did.
Thank you.
And then Books of Our Lives, which is always a delight. Rotary meeting again. Should have been up top.
I think I know about
should have crossed
Temple
that out.
Grandin, I
Sorry
haven't
about
listened to
that.
that.
Me
one.
too.
I mean, I've heard her before.
Yeah, I might be able to, if I have the recording, I can forward it on.
Cause you know, like.
Right.
I
It was
I find her
interesting.
fascinating.
She did, you know who she reminded me of was, who did the gifted and talented program over at West Road?
Oh, well, Silver, I know.
You know what she reminded me of?
Tina?
Hmm,
Tesla. Oh, no.
Maybe she did.
That was good.
Her name was on everything.
You mean now?
And was she also at first still?
Along,
Way back.
Yes.
way
Because
back.
my kids went to her and I said, well, I want to say Pam or Pat.
No, not Pam, I would have remembered that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Wood. Something
I don't
Wood.
know who was there. after Kate.
I like it.
No, that's not, not my kids. I know Florence.
Florence was my very good friend.
But just the way she would just, this is a matter of fact, and this is the way it is, Florence was just no nonsense
Yeah,
woman,
that's
right? Am I remembering the right woman?
No, she didn't do that. She taught.
Yes, she taught gifted and talented? No?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Okay, forget it.
St. Pillsbury.
Oh,
That was.
Yeah.
They were temple.
That was a long time ago.
Kay and I, she was very good, but that was a long time
I
ago.
didn't say she wasn't good. It was just a kind of a no nonsense. It was funny. She just reminded me. Whoever it was.
Wait, get them telling them.
Well, Temple was the one who she figured out that you shouldn't like the slaughterhouses. She reads like
Right.
slaughterhouses in
Is
America.
this the first time you've heard her speak or?
Yes, it was, oh, I'm sorry, it was a webinar. So yes, it was the first time I've ever seen. her.
Oh, okay, because
I mean, I know who
she
she
looks and I've
is.
seen her.
Temple.
She has autism.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, my Lord, she came to speak in one of my grant classes. Shit, yeah.
Well, anyway, she was right. She kind of know it. It's kind of
It's
neat.
amazingly interesting.
Okay.
Written very good book.
I think they might do more. So if I see another one, that was, I don't forgot
What
what
was the
sponsored
topic?
that one.
Great minds are not all the same.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she was discussing how basically it takes a team, right? So we're not all the same.
Yeah.
And if we acknowledge. So she is on,
She has autism, yeah.
and so she has written books, obviously very high functioning
Mhm.
autism. And, she. I guess you would, I don't know if you even call them disabilities, but the way she thinks is different, right? So it's different, but she,
She did
With-
some pictures, right? Isn't that
Is
what
she the one who wrote that? Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Her
There's
actual
one book
job,
taking
her actual
pictures.
degree and job are in,
Animal
Yeah,
behavior.
yeah, animal behavior. She invented all kinds of humane
Like
things for.
the shoe
when
that they put
slaughter-
in lines,
for
yeah.
when they slaughter cattle.
so they don't see
Yeah.
the one in front of them being slaughtered, a lot of different things like that, but basically. Working as a team and taking everyone's strength and
Yeah.
coming together
She has
to make it happen, right?
And,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't, you wouldn't think it if she just, like, when she spoke, it was interesting, but then all of a sudden she would go off on a topic where you were like, oh my God,
Yeah.
The newest book that she wrote is an absolutely slam jamming condemnation of public school math programs. It's wonderful.
The
She
first
is-
book, I think she wrote. I think the first
Our
book was
answer to
thinking
that,
in
which is so
fiction.
fun, right? We
pictures.
can create what people need,
Yeah.
which all schools should be able to do that too. But because there's the percentage of adult to children interaction, that we've got their parents here. So we're almost like that combination of a school and a museum. We can do this different stuff. So I love that. Sorry. I had to
Anyway,
cross-
moving it
But no,
up.
she-
I will fix the starting part. I know.
Oh, I don't know. Look up her name and that's her newest book.
Do you want to spell it?
I don't, yeah, I'm
It's-
okay with that,
Okay, good.
And she's.
but I don't remember.
It's grand.
Grandin, Grandin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great minds are not all the same,
Maybe
which
that's-
could be the
maybe
title of
that's-
her book.
I
though.
don't know, I can't.
She wrote a children's book, which that might be.
No, the
No.
children's book was still something I just looked it up.
The one about math, I think was a relatively new book. 'cause
There's a kid one, the girl who thought in pictures.
That's it, yeah. And she uttered about that. It was really too short, because she was,
Yeah.
anyway,
Her work is.
I think they will
fascinating,
send me
really.
the recording and I'll send it on. All right, and you guys know this, actually, the educational flyers for the second story went out
Yeah.
the week of
I
the
think-
24th. And, then
Did
the old
anybody
part.
have a problem dropping them off?
No, not at all. I just walked.
No, they were
like,
just
I
mean to
Mark and
Sam,
Mrs.
too.
Fas- They were mean?
No, they weren't mean.
Oh, I was gonna say, Mrs. Pasolino was just like,
It's really funny because I went to the Hartell.
Uh-huh.
And you gotta speak through the
Yeah.
class and everything, and school as prison. And then, the secretary said, I told her, who I was, and where I was representing the library board and et cetera, et cetera. And that, right, why, we don't know anything about that. Well, did you speak to Mr. Robbins or?
I know. I should have had a letter. I should have had something, because they did approve it. It
Yeah,
was like
well, the
months
funny
before.
thing was, she's hastily going to call and Lisa comes, the principal, Lisa, who I know, she went to school with my daughter, played soccer with her, Lisa comes out. she goes, I see. Here is Phil is already.
I know, but she doesn't want to do anything.
There was what?
I went to Parkway and Mary Ann Sampson is the person, the
Yeah.
secretary there. Now, her kids went to Holland Patton. I knew her personally. She used to work up there too. And she's like, oh, Pam, I said, well, I've got these flyers from the library and it's been approved to pass them out.
Right.
And she's like, oh, well, we don't send things home to every kid here, and they don't, from 6th grade up to the high school, we don't send them out, so I'll just take a couple of stacks and we just put them out there for people to pick up. So then I took
But
called
wait,
April
It's better.
and told her that. And April's like, huh, but then, and also that she hadn't heard anything from the superintendent, so April called the superintendent's office and an email went right out.
Right,
Okay.
and after that,
So
email
then
went
I
right,
get to-
everybody was
Yeah,
aware.
I go to then I went to the middle school, and because Marianne had told me this, I only took in a couple of stacks, and the main office secretary wasn't there, and the attendance secretary is like, just leave them there, and I'll have her call you if she wants any more, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I can get more, they're out in the car.
I know. but
And
I'm
then-
like, I'm like, no, you-
And then she's like, so anyway, and I went to West Road, and by that time I walk in. And she's like, oh, I know, we just got
They're
an email.
expecting-
about that, That's all. And then
know.
she's like, but I need 7 stacks more, because apparently they just put 25 per.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, I should have
Per
done
teacher.
20, no, they would have asked for more.
So then I had to come get more and go back to the middle school the next day. To pass them.
Oh, yours were.
I was gonna say, I
Oh,
know.
yeah, and then I brought
know
more to the park
yeah,
day
attendants,
too.
So they're just like, oh, yeah, sure. I didn't even say, I'd be like, I have these. And
But
she
it
goes,
was,
okay, come on.
she went right after, you went right after that day.
Yeah, I
I
went
did
right back. I went to Marianne again the next morning.
Yeah.
Right.
But they had figured it out, we had already, before you even
All
left.
this.
They had
Oh,
sent
okay.
the email, so by the,
Oh,
you were,
I was gonna say, cause I picked up
You were
Cooper
better
about 3
received.
o'clock and I just walked
No,
in.
It was
and
just,
I'm
I
like,
got-
listen to Marianne.
she, well, it just had come through
Or
because.
she just assumed that, but no, I went right from the meeting.
Oh, so,
Right
but
there.
Lisa probably doesn't know
Okay.
who you were. Maybe she had heard it
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah,
Maybe there was a.
Because she knew me, she was
Oh,
just
there
like.
might have been a
"I
principal's
think
It would
meeting
be
or
a principal's
something.
meeting where something was said, but the secretaries didn't know, or
Fair.
people
Communication
forgot,
is-
or it came a
is
long
a-
time.
I
It's
know,
tricky
but
thing.
it just, it's funny that, I mean,
It's
you
funny.
think we were handing out poison or porn or something, I don't know anything about this,
I think that, you know what, they probably got in trouble once before and they weren't doing it again. All right, so I
should have
am done with that.
School is always entertaining.
It was fun.
But hey, they all went home.
Yes.
I did hear that they went home and they were they were all abuzz.
But I drove to the middle school and Parkway campus 3 times to get these all.
I couldn't,
Yeah, and they were sent home, we know for a fact, because Jamie's son brought one home. So we
good.
know that they actually,
They didn't, Kim said that they came home.
yeah,
Good.
yeah, so.
Did you get one home?
Mhm. I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Bring it back to the library.
And we probably have too many, I should have sent those.
Well, good, that's all taken
Okay,
care
so
of.
this,
So there's,
done too.
that's pretty much the director's report.
It was, yeah. It was
And we
okay.
got up on a few transient.
It's good for us to interact with the school, like, right, even with nothing else.
Yeah, I know, I enjoyed seeing it.
It's nice. to
I think that was old business.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
now we're debating if this is necessary.
Mhm.
I get paranoid, I go to these meetings, like I went to that training, it's like, oh, so. You're supposed to hire me and then I am supposed to hire them, but still, if you think about the school, and I don't know, we're not exactly like the school. You know how the principal hires and then you have to wait for board appointment,
Board of
right?
approval.
And so that's why I'm throwing out
And
some
the
kind of this
only,
board, so it's
I mean,
basically
unless there
communication.
was some big reason, like the board knew something about that person, I would think it would be an automatic rubber stamp, because we're supposed to trust our director, but we are supposed to make.
So why don't
Yeah.
we,
We're supposed to, yeah, the
why don't we do this anyhow?
Right, just because.
I think the
So,
boards always have the most.
Yeah.
Rubber stamp, please.
So,
That's what I'm saying.
so I make the motion to approve the appointment of
Yeah.
Kim Rodwall as librarian.
I'll second.
Okay,
No, I.
Now we have announcements.
It seems like we should.
We have announcements or communications and or
I don't think so.
good. Nobody wants us.
Not
We
really.
saw the check in there for the fire department. That was good. We voted to.
Doesn't New York have, don't they have anything anymore, like they used to have years ago?
Say it again.
What?
They used to have like meetings, you know, they would have a speaker or something.
Well, they did that in the fall, didn't they?
I didn't think so.
You mean like a trustee training or?
They have a speaker.
It was a dinner.
Oh, the dinner.
That was in the fall, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's usually not.
I don't know, we had a pandemic for.
Well, you had with that
Yes, I remember. that.
Right,
Remember?
I thought we didn't want.
I did not go.
There was one.
Yeah, I
And
think
that's
that's Sally and you went, right?
I,
And my
Sally was
husband
there,
and your
Nedra,
husband.
yes,
Yeah,
and Christina was there.
And I think I went.
Yeah. No.
No,
you were sick, you
You
were
were going
sick
to
for
go.
something else.
You
and
were
ended up
going
in
to
the
go,
hospital.
but I don't think you were feeling well.
Something happened, that was when you ended up, didn't you go into the hospital? or
Right.
something? That's all around the time.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. That was in the fall.
So in a way,
We have no.
that was
public comment.
professional development. No,
Mhm.
I think it is.
What are you trying?
Oh, no, Pat didn't go. You didn't go to that.
It's the annual meeting. What the heck
Who
was
was the
it?
speaker? Was it-
Oh, Rebecca Smith Aldrich. She was talking, I think, about the,
There's some really.
the bottom line, she's very environmental. We are on that sustainability thing. Actually, the last Shar and Janae went to the last training on it. We were talking about there's a database and how we're supposed to, measure that. We even compost here. I
Yeah.
take it home.
Good.
But if you ever have banana peel, we have a compost.
What does my phone binging mean?
It depends. Are you on the Amber Alert?
I would have
No,
gone.
my
there.
Your phone.
Y'all
We
would've
were in
gone on with
Texas,
your battery
somebody, there was an Amber Alert for someone, some child in San Antonio. I'm like, what is happening?
I know.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Sam.
All right, we have no public comment. Do we need an executive session, anyone? I don't think so.
Well, see.
Then we need a motion for adjournment.
I so moved.
Woo-hoo.
I
All
second.
right.
Okay. And
That
it is
is-
6:43.
And you stop the recording, Mark? All set, thank you.
I don't know.